years he had the Congress. But even in the last two, first of all, he was able to govern without the Republicans having a filibuster-proof majority in the Senate. By contrast, Democrats have. I think it fell down. You know, the day we didn't do, the day the Obama Justice Department backed off on any of the war crimes and of the judicial improprieties, didn't do the investigations. I think it was just a clear signal to Republicans that Democrats were just going to hand away in some crazy attempt to want to hold on to power forever. And what we have is we have a party that could win the elections in November easily. Even when they poll now on the basis of registered voters, Democrats are even or slightly ahead of the generic Republican.
The Tea Party?
But the Democratic base isn't going to turn out. And so when you actually look at likely voters, that's when suddenly Republicans are 5 or 10 points ahead. And it's when they're going to take these huge congressional perhaps victories.
So why Obama is not getting his base excited? This guy is known for his, oratory, and he knows how to motivate people.
Why did he keep a Republican as the Secretary of Defense? Well, some people say, Clinton, he had Cohen, a Republican, but the administration has not been the Democratic wing of the Democratic Party. And, people who voted for Obama have not seen the change that they had hoped for. Now, does Obama deserve enormous credit for the progress he's made? Yes. But why are Democrats not eager in going to the polls? For some reason, Republicans have never. Shortly after Obama's inauguration, the news media predicted that the Republican Party was dead.
Yeah.
That the Republican Party, made up of white old males,
angry,
could no longer win elections in the United States. Not very good for the media, because Dick Armey is a white old Republican, angry conservative, and he's managed to piece together this Tea Party fraud, and fronted by a woman even Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't find satisfactory as a Republican. I mean, it's disturbing.
Well, wouldn't the Tea Party split the Republican Party?
I think that there's some likelihood that you could have some moderates maybe kind of pushed off.
Yeah.
Maybe Rand Paul will have a little trouble. Maybe Sharon Engel will have a little trouble. But no, I think right now that they've activated the base of the Republican Party. They have a clear agenda, and they're pretty. I mean, John Boehner, the speaker in waiting, just came out saying, well, I could hold off on the tax cuts for the rich. I'd sign off for the middle class. Well, evidently, the Tea Party people are going crazy throughout the country, saying, "Oh no, you've got to stand firm on the totality of the Bush tax cuts." Okay, so the Tea Party, these middle class folks that show up at rallies, they're willing to die in the election for the top 2% for people who earn over $250,000. I mean, that really kind of shows where their loyalty is. I mean, the Tea Party is, I just think it's a tool of the Dick Armey Republican corporate public interests.
And how can they be that, strong if they are just supporting 2%, or their agenda does not represent the mainstream middle class America?
I think
half a minute here.
It's the same. It's the same as it has been all the way. At least from the Reagan era. They take religion They take distrust of foreigners. They take fear of people losing their majority status in the United States. They bundle all of that together, and in the end, they hope that their economic agenda isn't what drives the election. What they want to have drive the election is a set of social phobia
So
issues.
the mosque and ground zero is going to be an issue in November?
Certainly. I mean, I just looked at the polls before coming here, and the latest Quinnipiac was something like 60% against and 30%, maybe 28% for. And, you know, if people had a chance just to listen to the Republican independent mayor, Mike Bloomberg of New York, and as he discusses how many Muslims were killed in those towers, how many Muslims were among the first responders who ended up dead or injured.
Well, how many Muslims were killed in Iraq? I mean,
Now,
wouldn't blame for them.
Would you want to have, you know, for all of the various families of the people who work there and of the first responders, would you want to have a religious center close to where they died? I would think so. I mean, there are two churches within 4 blocks.
The strip bar, I think from the mosque to the strip bar, I'm all for it. Well, thank you, Bob. We have another guest here. We appreciate you coming here, and we'll come back with Mel. He's just been traveling all over the Arab world and come tell us a little bit about his experience. So don't go away. Assalamu alaikum.
Hey, American, looks like here we go again. See the world through the eyes of little boys or men, through the eyes of a little girl who's driven by her fear, or a woman who's found wisdom through her tears. Hey, American, some will go to any length to show the world what they believe to be their greatest strength. They wave a flag and shout outrageous rage, too loudly to ignore our greatest weakness that we've all seen before.
Welcome back. This is Hey America, a song for David. He sent me the DVD, and I said there is good American out there that they sing the song. I appreciate you, David, and keep making those wonderful music. We are here with somebody, he doesn't like violence. He's a non-violence. He's the director of non-violence organization, the founder of it, Mel Duncan, and he's coming here to talk us about peace and all this project that you have all over the world. Welcome to BelAhdan, Mel.
Eid Mubarak.
People don't say Eid Mubarak anymore.
Why not?
Husni Mubarak. They say Eid Saeed, but welcome. Thank you anyway.
Happy Eid.
Happy Eid. Yes, that'll do.
All right.
You know, we know each other for a long time. You guys doing a wonderful job all over the world, and you just came back from a trip from
Qatar.
And tell us a little bit about your foundation. What do you actually do? I know.
Nonviolent Peace Force provides teams of trained unarmed civilians who are invited by local groups into areas of violent conflict. And while we're there, we protect civilians and do violence prevention. So we have teams right now that are active in the Mindanao region of the Philippines, another team that is in Sri Lanka, and then our newest team is in southern Sudan, where they've been deployed in anticipation of the referendum for independence that comes up in January.
So defending those guys and talking peace may be different from one country to another.
Of course.
Based on the culture and how they look at peace and how you defend peace.
Of course.
So you've been in Sudan, you've been in Africa, you've been in the Arab world. What are all the things you're looking for when you try to establish this foundation of peace in that particular hostile area?
You know, in the most hostile areas in the world, there are still a
That's
strong...
New York now.
Yes, right. But even there...
Shouldn't some people there
Yes.
for peace violence?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even there is a core of people in the most violent places in the world today
I see.
who are committed and putting their lives on the line for peace and reconciliation. And that's happening throughout the world. And more often